Good day. I'm Ji Feng Pe, the team leader of the Group 8. I'm now presenting our group project, UniTrade. Today, I'm showcasing the milestone one of the project. For what you can see right now is the front end of our web application. It's an e-commerce application that allows users to buy products because we notice students often struggle to get products from the market from other students, as students always want to sell their products at a relatively cheaper price to other students. So I reckon having unit trade is really going to be helpful for them. So students across universities can trade products with each other. At the moment, we have used React to build our front end. As you can see, we have implemented features, for example, filtering and searching using Redux for states management. Whenever I want to, let's say, buy a stationery product, I can just click it and it will automatically displays only stationery category products, computer products, audio products, and we'll implement more features coming soon, as this is only milestone one. And when a user want to search for a particular product, the user can also do it on the search bar. For example, I want to buy a pen, and here we go. The search feature is displaying the accurate result. Whenever user refreshes or loads the homepage, the front end actually makes API call to the backend using GET requests to get the products from backend to display it in the front end. And now I'm going to display the backend codes for explaining the features. So over here, we are using React States Management to display our front-end content. And you will notice whenever we want to display all products, we will actually use get distinct product by name. And this get distinct product by name actually runs the API call to the backend. So if we go back to component, services, and API.js displays the link for us to make the HTTP request to the backend. And product services.js actually handles making the API request to the backend like this. So in doing so, our front end and backend collaborates with each other to get data accurately from the backend to display in the front end. When the browser makes an API call to the Java backend, it will go through a series of HTTP pipeline, and in the end, it will go to the controller to process the logic. So over here, when the HTTP request goes to the controller, it will actually call the service to run the logic to get all products. As controller is only supposed to handle the HTTP request and return the HTTP response to the browser. So when it goes to the controller and the controller sends to the service, as we can see over here, for example, for the get all products, when it goes to the service, it will actually run the logic to get all products. And over here, we are running Hibernate to get all products instead of SQL queries, because Hibernate is the way to allow us to save our time by not writing SQL queries, but Java code, which will automatically convert the Java code into SQL queries. In doing so, we actually only need to write Java code and save our time. When you look at the services, you will notice there's interface and the concrete class. The benefit of using interface and concrete class is it allows us to decouple our code to maintain a clean code, as our controller is only required to depend on the interface. And when there's any logic changes in the concrete class, we actually don't have to change the interface. So it won't affect us. And this allows us to make changes easily in the future without affecting the inner layers. And after the services runs the logic, it will actually generate a response to the controller for the controller to send it back over here. And over here, you will see the model, which is how we set up our databases. And in doing so, we are actually setting up our database in the Java code, and Hibernate will map it over in the database for us. That's why we can actually use the Hibernate to run our SQL queries without us having to write SQL. So in the end, the controller will send back DTOs to the front end. So DTOs allows us to save, to protect our system without having to expose too much data. And whenever front end sends data to the back end, is often not enough. And DTOs allow us to map the data from the front end to what the back end needs.